I worked the night shift at a medium-sized hotel in my town. The main thing I did at my job was stand at the front counter and attend to customers who needed to check in or out. For the most part, though, barely anyone would be going in or out of the lobby during the night, and when they did, they would just pass by. So, pretty much I just stood there all night, staring at the doors. I would get the usual angry customers complaining about something or just being weird, but there was one night in particular that still stands out to me. It was a normal night, just like any other, as I stood at the front desk. There was a pretty big storm going on outside, though, and usually whenever it was raining or just bad weather in general, nobody would be going in or out of the hotel. I pulled out my phone to pass the time, but a few minutes later, a man showed up at the entrance door. He walked through the first set of doors and then stopped, standing in the small area between the two sets of doors. He gazed through the glass, looking around the inside of the building, then made quick eye contact with me before awkwardly patting down his pockets and walking back out into the rain. It was pretty weird, but to be honest, I'd worked at a hotel long enough and met so many people that I was used to strange and awkward behavior. I assumed he just forgot his keys or something and had to get them from his car. However, I should mention that I had never seen this man before, though not uncommon, since most customers checked in or out during the day. Plus, he didn't have a suitcase or bag or anything. So, of course, I just assumed he already had a room and everything. Another few minutes went by before the phone rang on my desk. The caller ID said it was an outside number, so I knew it wasn't anyone from one of the rooms. I picked it up, gave the regular hotel introduction, and asked how I could help. A man was on the other line and said that he had parked in the front lot and needed help bringing in his luggage. I responded politely, saying it was okay, but then he asked me if I could come out and help him, assuring me that he just needed me to roll in a small suitcase. This was a pretty strange request, but I told him that if he pulled his car up to the front door, then I could help him get situated. He paused for a moment, then said okay and hung up. A little bit annoyed, I walked around the desk and waited between the entrance doors. I stood there for probably 5 minutes before getting impatient. I opened the door and stuck my head outside. It was still pouring, but I could see the man from earlier across the parking lot, waving to me and motioning for me to come over. I got a really bad feeling, as the whole reason I wanted him to pull up to the front was so we could be out of the rain. Why would someone want to walk with their luggage through a storm? I ignored him, closed the door, and made my way back to my desk, figuring that if he really needed my help, he'd pull his car up to the front. As soon as I sat down, though, the man came through the doors. From how far he had been in the parking lot, he must have sprinted to get there that quickly. This time, he came all the way into the lobby and stood a few feet from the desk, breathing heavily. He immediately asked me the same exact question he had asked over the phone, asking me to help him with his small suitcase. Of course, I gave him the same exact response, that he needed to pull the car up to the front. This time, though, he told me that he had already taken the luggage out of his car and didn't want to put it back in. I already had a bad feeling about this guy, but that response made me sure that something was seriously wrong. I asked him if he had a room, assuring him that I needed to check him in before assisting him any further. He immediately grew angry, as if I had offended him with that question. He demanded that I come out and help him before he checked in, claiming his luggage was getting wet outside. At this point, I'd had enough and responded with a bit of an attitude. You left your bags outside in the rain to begin with. If you refuse to check in, then I'm going to have to make you leave. He angrily turned around, giving me the middle finger on his way out the door. He didn't come back for the rest of the night. When the morning crew came in, I told them about the man. As far as I know, he never checked in. This definitely creeped me out, as I realized he wasn't even a customer of the hotel. Just some random guy trying to lure me into his car in the middle of a stormy night.